Let me ask you something. Have you ever met someone for the very first time and immediately felt comfortable with them? Or the opposite? Nothing bad happened? They didn't say anything wrong, but something just felt off? Here's the surprising part. Most of that decision was made before the conversation even started. Today, we're talking about first impressions. What people actually notice in the first few seconds, why it matters even more as we get older, and how small, almost invisible details shape the way others see us, often without us realizing it. And don't worry, this isn't about trying to impress everyone or pretending to be someone you're not. This is about understanding human psychology and using it to connect better, communicate more clearly, and show up as the best version of yourself. Why first impressions still matter after 40. There's a myth that first impressions only matter when you're young, dating, job interviews, climbing the ladder. But if anything, they matter more after 40. Think about it. At this stage of life, you've built experience, you've learned what you value, you're more selective about who you let into your world, and so is everyone else. We're quicker to decide, is this person worth my time? Do I trust them? Do I feel respected? First impressions act like a mental shortcut. Our brain's way of deciding whether to open the door or quietly close it. The shocking truth, it happens faster than you think. Psychologists have found that people form a first impression in as little as 7 seconds. Some studies suggest it happens even faster, under 1 second. That's before your story, your achievements, your intelligence, your sense of humor. So, what are people noticing? It's not what most people think. What people think matters, but usually doesn't. Let's clear this up first. People often assume first impressions are about perfect clothes, youthful looks being the most confident person in the room, saying something clever. But for most real life interactions, especially among adults over 40, those things rank much lower than you'd expect. Instead, people are subconsciously asking much simpler questions. What people are actually asking themselves. In those first few seconds, the human brain is running a quiet checklist. Is this person safe? Are they friendly or distant? Do they respect me? Do they seem genuine? That's it, not impressive, not perfect, just human. 1. Body language speaks before you do. Before a single word is spoken, your body is already talking. People notice how you walk into a room, whether your shoulders are open or tense, where your eyes go, how relaxed or guarded you seem. And here's something especially relevant as we age. Many adults carry stress in their posture, slight hunching, tight shoulders, shallow breathing. Without meaning to, this can send a message of fatigue, disinterest, defensiveness. The good news? You don't need perfect posture. Just this. Stand a little taller, let your shoulders drop, breathe fully before speaking. That alone can change how people experience you. 2. Facial expression. Neutral isn't neutral. Here's something fascinating. What you think is a neutral face may not look neutral to others. Especially as we age, our resting expressions can unintentionally signal seriousness, skepticism, disapproval. Even when we're feeling fine, people aren't judging you, they're interpreting you. A slight softening of the face goes a long way. Gentle eye contact, a relaxed jaw, a small, genuine smile, not forced, not exaggerated, just present. 3. Tone of voice matters more than words. You could say the exact same sentence in two different tones and leave two completely different impressions. People notice warmth pace, volume, calmness. A slower, steady tone often communicates confidence, emotional maturity, trustworthiness. And that's something that naturally resonates with people in midlife and beyond. You don't need to sound energetic, you need to sound grounded. 4. Presence beats charisma. Every time. Here's a big one. People don't remember everything you say, but they remember how you made them feel. And the fastest way to make a positive impression? Be present. That means not scanning the room, not thinking about what you'll say next, not trying to impress, just listening. True presence is rare and incredibly attractive, especially in a world full of distractions. 5. Authenticity is detected instantly. By midlife, most people develop a strong radar for inauthentic behavior. Trying too hard, over-polishing, forced enthusiasm. People feel it immediately. Ironically, the most positive first impressions often come from calm honesty, comfort in one's own skin, a lack of performance. You don't need to prove anything, and that's exactly why people trust you. The role of life experience in first impressions. Here's something younger audiences don't always hear. As we age, our impressions are shaped less by surface level traits and more by patterns. We notice consistency, emotional control, self awareness. Someone who listens well often makes a stronger first impression than someone who talks a lot. Someone who's comfortable with silence often feels more confident than someone who fills every gap. First impressions in relationships, whether it's meeting new people, reconnecting socially, dating later in life, joining a new community. First impressions set the tone, not for the entire relationship, but for the emotional starting point. And here's the good news: a warm, grounded first impression often leads others to be more open, be more forgiving. Give you the benefit of the doubt. Can you change a bad first impression? Absolutely. First impressions are powerful, but they're not permanent. What does matter is consistency. If your behavior over time doesn't match that initial impression, people naturally update their view. However, a good first impression makes everything easier afterward. It opens the door. Simple ways to improve. First impressions without changing who you are. Let's keep this practical. Here are a few small, realistic adjustments. Pause before engaging. Take one breath before speaking. Make eye contact, then relax. No staring. No avoidance. Listen slightly longer than feels necessary. It signals respect. Let your voice slow down. Calm equals confidence. Drop the need to impress. Connection beats performance. Why this matters more than ever. At this stage of life, time is valuable. We want deeper conversations, more meaningful relationships, less surface level noise. Understanding first impressions isn't about manipulation, it's about alignment. Making sure who you are on the inside is what people experience on the outside. Here's the takeaway: people aren't judging you the way you think. They're not counting wrinkles. They're not ranking your success. They're not expecting perfection. They're simply asking, do I feel comfortable with this person? And when you show up calm, present, and genuine, the answer is often yes. If this video made you think about your own first impressions or reminded you of moments where connection really mattered, you're not alone. If you found this helpful, consider liking the video and sharing it with someone who values meaningful conversations. And if you'd like more content about psychology, relationships, and navigating life with clarity and confidence after 40, subscribe and stay with us. Because understanding people starts with understanding ourselves.